Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
It is National Volunteer Month.
It is.
And we are celebrating that with some outstanding volunteers across the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. And what better place to start with that than right here at the LCMS International Center. Joining us in the studio, Maureen Lund. She's manager for Volunteer Connection here at the LCMS International Center in St. Louis. Maureen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And thanks for your work helping coordinate so many volunteers who use their gifts and talents to serve right here with us at the International Center. It's exciting.
It's fun to be a part of people's journey.
And here at KFUO, we even benefit from those volunteers. We have some great volunteers. We're going to share more stories about volunteers as well, with Lutheran Young Adult Corps being a partner with KFUO. But even some of the volunteers that come in and just spend, some hours each week. They've been a part of what we do at KFUO. Not too long ago, just shared a story of deaf ministry, and one of our volunteers provided the transcription for us. And so we're very grateful for Gwen's work doing that. Tell us a little bit about Volunteer Connection and what that means here at the IC.
Volunteer Connection is designed to engage individuals who are interested in serving the international and national ministries here at the International Center. Our goal is to be able to engage new individuals, to be able to equip them with the various tools that will be helpful to furthering the mission. And so we have about a group of a little over 40 who come in regularly and serve here at the International Center, really helping us further the mission.
And one of those 40 is a great story of a great volunteer you brought along with you today, Ed Delfert, a volunteer with LCMS Volunteer Connection. Thanks for joining us in the studio, Ed.
Well, thank you for having me.
How did you get connected with Volunteer Connection?
Well, my wife works at LCEF, the Lutheran Church Extension Fund, and she had noticed that they had a volunteer program over here and thought it would be something I should get into. She said, "You've got a good voice, you're good with phone calls, maybe you can make calls for them." And sure enough, they needed somebody, so I was happy to do it.
So you make phone calls with Volunteer Connection. Who are some of the people that you get to talk to?
Yeah, I get to talk to pastors. I get to talk to secretaries at churches. I get to talk to different individuals in congregations. It really varies, and it's really interesting.
What kind of things do you get to talk to them about?
Different projects going on in different missions in the Lutheran Church. The Wittenberg Project is one of them that's really big that we've worked on. The Global Seminary Initiative, the Lutheran Center for Religious Liberty is another. I've been working a lot with those, and it's been a lot of fun.
What do you enjoy most about this opportunity to not only give back but also to share some of the stories of our Lutheran Church?
I love to talk to people in the church. I feel at home with my fellow brothers and sisters, and I enjoy talking with them and getting to talk about the different programs and going over all the different things the Lutheran Church is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
How has volunteering with LCMS Volunteer Connection been a good match for your gifts and talents and your skills?
Well, I like to talk. So I do seem to have a gift for having conversations with people and being able to bring stuff out of them and talk with them, and I enjoy that. I enjoy talking to people as much as I possibly can about the Word of God, and this is a perfect opportunity to do that.
So connecting those you're calling with the resources and opportunities as well, and doing that all in just what might be a simple phone call.
Mm-hmm.
What's really fun about this is being able to connect someone who has gifts like Ed. He just exudes joy when he calls. He gets them engaged in conversation and helps people feel open to the conversations. And I think that is not something that everybody has. And to be able to take something that like Ed enjoys and being able to connect it with someone who's looking for that or maybe needs that day can change someone's day. And I think it's a really great thing to be able to use your gifts.
You mentioned earlier that there are about 40 volunteers here at the LCMS International Center. What are ways that those volunteers serve? Ed gets to make phone calls and finds joy in that. What are other ways that volunteers serve joyfully here?
We have a variety of opportunities. We do, for those that like to work on computers, we do data entry. We do a lot of data research, connecting individuals to the ministries. We do assembly type of projects for someone who wants to come in and they want to be with a group of individuals being social, but they still want to be able to put labels on the mailings and get them out the door. Many mailings that go out of here are all cared for by our volunteers. But then other nice thing too is we do get some unique projects that you're like, someone will ask saying, "Oh, I need transcription," and you're like,
who did that?
I'm like, I'm not really sure if we have someone. And then you learn more as you ask, and you find out that people can do.
Someone shows up at your cubicle and says, "We need a transcription of one of our programs. Do you have a volunteer that can do that?" And out goes the message, and
then you get the yes, and you're like, oh, right people, right place, right time. How is that not God's gifts?
That is pretty cool. And I mean, that was fantastic for us too.
Absolutely.
I mean, speaking of which, how important is the work that the volunteers do for the LCMS? Not only us in the International Center, but I mean, just talking about the mailings. How important is this work to the broader work of the LCMS?
Oh, we've had a great opportunity with this being convention year.
Oh,
we've done a lot of mailings. So, being able to free up staff's time to be able to continue to pursue to make, programming and everything extra special and make sure all the details are taken care of. But volunteers being able to do some of these type of projects really allows individuals to further what is possible.
Ed, how has volunteering with LCMS Volunteer Connection made a difference for you? How has it been a joy for you?
Oh, it's been an absolute joy. I get to speak to some of the nicest people and thank them for what they think is no big deal, really. And it means a lot to me to be able to talk to the people and carry on a conversation and make a new friend. And it's been a blessing to me because I was basically sitting around doing nothing, and I really needed something to get me going. And it really has done that for me. It's gotten me moving. It's gotten me, because I don't see very well, so I don't get around very much, and it's gotten me out of the house. It's gotten me around the nicest people here at the International Center I've ever met in my life. Mm-hmm. And I get to speak to lifetime and long-term Christians that it's a true blessing in my life. It really makes me feel good about what I'm doing.
So using the ways that you've been gifted through conversation and the gifts that God has provided you in faith and the Word of God, and being able to use that to serve in this way. So we talked about the number of ways that volunteers serve in some unique ways. What's the most unique request that you've put you on the spot? What's the most unique request that you've received in terms of needs for volunteers?
Ooh, we get a lot of interesting requests, and all of them are unique in nature. we've had the opportunity for individuals to want to be tour guides. We have had individuals who want for greeters, some individuals to be able, the majority of ours are phone calls and data entry. And a lot of things that we get to do is because people come in with varying gifts and skill sets, we have the opportunity to have people look at a project and go, ooh, is this an opportunity? Maybe, past experience has shown me that, if we did it this way, it streamlines processes, and it's fabulous to be able to offer those kind of suggestions to ministries and saying, hey, is this something that we can try? How can we be of help? So yeah, we get unique things that, we get new perspectives on. And I think that's what's really very exciting.
Sure. The volunteers that come together as Volunteer Connection probably come to you with a wealth of experience that can be very useful and put to good use as well.
Absolutely. I think there's always more than one way to do things. And sometimes you learn in different circumstances. You just go with what seems right at the time.
Well, this month we are celebrating the volunteers across the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, and each week we'll learn more about volunteers serving in various ways across the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. This week talking about Volunteer Connection here at the LCMS International Center. If someone wants to be a volunteer with Volunteer Connection right here in the St. Louis area, how do they do that? How do they find out more?
They could go online to our Serve website, and there's a link that you can connect to learn more about what our opportunities are about. Or you can give me a call. My number is 314-996-1629, and we can talk about options. One of the other great things is being a part of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. There are so many opportunities, and the nice thing about it is, even though we serve here, we can get you connected to those that if you have an interest in Mercy Medical Teams or you have an interest to serve in a local congregation, we can connect you to that. If you're interested in serving in an RSO, recognized service organization, we have those resources to connect you. And that's really what this is about, is being able to thank individuals for their dedicated service, to be able to promote the variety of opportunities that we do have, to encourage people to really get involved, and then take that even to the further level of sharing why you love to serve and empower others to serve.
What's that phone number again?
314-996-1629.
Very good. Maureen Lenz, manager of Volunteer Connection here at the LCMS International Center today, and Ed Delford, volunteer with Volunteer Connection here at the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Thanks so much for being our guests on the Coffee Hour today.
Thank you.
Happy Volunteer Month as well, recognizing all our volunteers. Thank you to so many who volunteer to serve with joy and gratitude as well. Listen to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.